As soon as I saw this makeup look on Yunjin over on Pinterest, I just knew I had to recreate and drop a tutorial for you guys. Let's get started. Zooming into the eye area, there's not like heavy eyeshadow. This palette from Natasha Denona. Okay guys, I'm going to mix a bunch of shades to get something similar to what she has. So I'm gonna mix this shade with a little bit of this shade and this shade. And I'm just gonna dust this across my entire lid. I want this shadow to be very natural looking. You don't want it to be anything too dark because that's what the eyeliner, eyelashes, whatever rhinestones is for. I'm gonna focus a little bit more of this like pinkish, it's not really pink, but this shade more on the outer corner. Blend. I love using big fluffy brushes. I think it makes doing eye looks like these really easy. And then I'm also going to put a little bit right here. I tend to use the same brush for many steps in the eyeshadow routine. So sometimes I will hold the brush like this just to focus more on my inner corner. Colorgram thingamabob, love this thing. Hers is like more emphasized on the inner portion of her eye. Okay, so this is the shade called 03 Real, by the way. It's like a neutral color, so I think this is perfect actually. Smile with your eyes. I'm gonna go all the way across and then I'll add more shadow on the inner portion. I like tapping in the product a little bit. I'm gonna use the concealer end just to highlight above the shadow. Tap it in. Okay, I feel like that's kind of close-ish, I guess. More of the shaded end right here, using the shade just to emphasize this part. Okay, I'm going into this lighter shade and I'm just going to kind of set it in place like that. Went ahead and did the other eye. Now let's get started on the eyeliner. And then just take a dark brown and start to create the wing. Her eyeliner flicks more up like this. Highly recommend doing eyeshadow first. Bye! Something fell. I don't know what it is and I don't want to know what it is. Okay, connect the eyeliner. You want to make sure that the shadow going from here to here is very, very close to your lashes because if you make it too thick, it's actually going to not look good. You're welcome, I warned you. Just stay really, really close to the lashes. Also go ahead and take that shade and starting about here, you're going to create an extra line following the same angle as the other eyeliner. You actually want this one to be shorter, so you want the top line to be more extended out and the bottom one to be a little bit shorter. Take this shadow and connect to here. You actually want to drag the shadow a little bit closer to your inner corner. Like this, so like connect here, but you want it to be a little bit lighter in this portion. You don't want it to be too dark. Went ahead and did the other eye. Now something that I noticed while zooming in so much is that she has like a little bit of like pink like closer to her inner corner. So I'm gonna go into this neutral pink shade and I'm just going to apply a little bit of that right here and connect here. Now for the waterline, it's like a sparkly silver or pink. I think it looks more pink though. I'm gonna use this champagne colored one. This one is from Colourpop. It's a shade called Calabasas. And I'm gonna start about here and line the waterline on this portion. And then I'm also going to fill in this gap over here. Next, before doing lashes, rhinestones, I'm gonna add all the shimmers and glitters. So it looks like a rose gold on the inner corner. So I'm gonna use this little angel palette from Flower Nose. And I think this is rose gold. And I'm just gonna focus this on the inner portion. And then I'm gonna use this glitter from Glow. It's a shade called Unknown. It's like a really pretty pink shade. I'm only gonna put a little bit on because I can see that there's like a little bit of glitter on her eyelid right here. I'm gonna tap this on the center. I'm going to add a little bit of actual liquid eyeliner, but I'm only going to make a very thin line close to my lashes. And then I'm going to create a little baby wing. Just something simple because I know that when I put on lashes, it will look better if there's like a black line. I am using a darker brown and I'm smudging out the eyeliner a little bit. Now for her top lashes, it looks like there's like several different kinds of lashes going on. I'm gonna just curl my lashes. First, this is the Shiseido eyelash curler. I really like this one because it actually fits around my eye shape and doesn't pinch my eyes. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Romand mascara. The lashes near the outer corner of her eye seem to be fluffier, so I'm going to use these from Lash Formula. They sent these over a while back. These are the snake style. I'm gonna use a 16 and a 14. I'm gonna put a little bit of clear lash glue on the back of my hand. The 16 and the 14 are already like stuck together from the last time I used these, but they're very fluffy looking. Focusing these on the outer corner. With that, I'll actually use one more. I'm gonna use a 12. Stick that right there. I feel like that's pretty spot on. Next, I'm going to use these lashes that 99 Dreams sent over. I don't know what style this is because it's not written on the thing. They look like this. So I am going to trim these a bit. So I'm only going to use like those four. Trim it down so I could just have the longer pieces, so not like the in-between lashes. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna glue them on individually. I'm gonna start about here. Take the next one and stick it like basically right next to it. Pretty identical. And I'm grabbing the next piece, sticking this closer to my inner corner. And the last one. I think this is as close as the lashes are going to get to looking like hers. As far as top lashes go, bottom lashes, I'm scared. I haven't done bottom lashes like that in over a year. I'm rusty. Zooming in, it looks like a dark brown. Like a dark brown. I don't have that. I have like this color brown. I don't think this is gonna work. I think it's too light, so I'm gonna use a black instead. But if you have a dark brown, use that instead. I recommend that more. When doing the bottom lashes, I recommend looking right at your reference photo. I'm gonna start here, and I'm just going to create a small little bottom lash. It takes a long time and a lot of patience to do this, so I'm just gonna kind of like show you how I'm doing. It's kind of hard to explain. You kind of just draw. I did mess up on the inner portion, so I'm gonna show you how I fix it. So I take a makeup wipe, but this is like one that's like almost dried out, okay? That's a very important thing, okay? And I'm just going to wipe off the eyeliner, and then I'm gonna go back in with this fluffy brush from before, and I'm just going to blend to kind of brighten it back up. So here's what mine end up looking like. It's not gonna be spot on because my eyeliner can only be so thin. Now we're gonna move on to the rhinestone placement. I'm gonna start on the outer portion. I'm gonna mainly be using these. I get my rhinestones off of Amazon, and sometimes you can get these like wax pens. I think that's what these are, and it makes it really easy to pick them up. And I'm gonna use some clear lash glue, and I'm gonna start at the bottom portion, and I'm gonna make a dot, and I'm gonna do two more like that. I'm picking up the slightly bigger size, sticking that on, another of the same size, putting that right next to it. I'm gonna take a smaller one and place it here. And then on the top, there's about 5. You're gonna do 3 of the bigger size and then 2 of the smaller ones. Okay, you should end up with something that looks like that. For the inner corner, I'm gonna use this size and the tiny size. And I'm gonna start by making a little dot there and then 2 smaller ones. Just gonna stick those on. And last one. Moving on to blush, it's kind of like a peachy pink color, so I'm gonna use this one. I think if I use it like lightly, it'll be perfect. Just add a little bit of dimension to the face, but not too much because it's a softer looking base. Okay, for lips, the closest thing I could find was this lipstick from Colourpop. It's a shade called Slacker. Just gonna blur out the lips a little bit. Okay, I'm thinking that this lip color is a little bit too light, so I'm gonna mix in a lip clay. Maybe that'll help mattify it. So I'm gonna use this Kaleidos lip clay in the shade called Pink Moon. There you go. I feel like this is closer now. This is pretty much the finished look. Let me know what kind of makeup tutorials you'd like to see next. I truly hope this tutorial was helpful and in-depth enough. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!